Hello everybody, hopefully it's working now. Welcome back to another game from the League of Dracula for 2024. Hi Scouts, drum roll. Oh, swing and a miss. Valor in Rome, not on the trail. Hello, yep, welcome everybody. Phase 4 of the League is underway. Last 4 games for everybody. And we'll see where everybody finishes in the league, which will then determine who makes it into the knockout phase, what seeding they get for knockout phase, all very exciting stuff. Good evening, good afternoon, Pizza Wizard. Nice to have you in the chat. Hello, everybody else. Feel free to say hello. We have a match here today between Fangs of Fire playing as the Hunters and Skybreaker96 playing as Dracula. Pizza Wizard says, Mr. Greenstar, not quite. We've got Van Helsing with Godalming. Mina is now solo in the UK. Which is an interesting decision. I wonder if Skybreaker is going to potentially start in Britannica now and try and capitalize on that. Then again, if Mina gets things like escape routes and planned ambushes and heroic leaps and things, then maybe it doesn't matter. Hola, compan, ¿qué tal? I saw your message, Geordie, but I haven't had time to reply. You'll have to go and watch the video, won't you? Welcome all. Hello, hello. A certain Scott should be joining me, but I think maybe there might be a problem with the time, perhaps? Don't know. Anyway, I will fly solo for now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mina might be Hector Salamanca today. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, these two are playing against each other again. I say again because they played against each other in the first phase of the league. In that occasion, Fangs actually won both matchups as Hunters and as Dracula against Strider. Ugh, he's the other person in the group. Skybreaker. There we go. Sorry, I'm a little bit jaded today. Probably doesn't help the fact I had to play a really intense game against Snuff earlier on. So I'll tell you, so these two players are... They finished the third phase, only one win apart from each other. Fangs has a 1-win advantage with 8 wins, 4 losses. 7 wins, 5 losses for Skybreaker. And the only difference between them is the fact that Fangs of Fire has won 1 additional Dracula game. Both of these players have won 3 of their 6 Hunter games, with 50% win record. Not bad at all. Fangs has won 5 of his 6 Dracula games, and Skybreaker's won 4 of the 6 Dracula games. So pretty even between these two players in terms of Hunter and Dracula gameplay. Seems to be both favoured as Dracula, I would say. So it's kind of interesting that in this first game, I don't know who opted to go, who decided to pick their role first, or maybe just went by what was in the calendar. I don't know. So yeah, this would be pretty big here in terms of if based upon win rates, on certain factions, you maybe think that Skybreaker might be able to win this. It'll be a pretty big coup for Fangs if he's able to beat Skybreaker on his favoured faction. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Dracula win rate has been very consistently just over 55%, more or less. We'll have to see at the end of this phase if it'll... I mean, there was a point, I said it, before the last 6 games of the third phase, Huns were winning 16-14, and then suddenly Draco went, I'm not having any of this, and won all the remaining games. Pretty crazy stuff. So it's going to be interesting here to see how they match up. Obviously, they've met in the first phase. Fangs did very well in the first phase. Skybreaker's made a bit of a comeback. I think especially in... I want to say phase 2 went 4-0. Yeah, both having a very good tournament. Yeah, it's a tricky one for me. Obviously, yeah, I'd like to see a Hunter victory because, having Hunter wins is always a good thing. But if I'm thinking in a, biased perspective in terms of the table, I'd actually probably want Skybreaker to win because Fangs is closer to me. I'm in 3rd place. Well, when the results were published yesterday at the end of the 3rd phase, I was in 3rd place with 9 wins. Fangs was 1 place below me with 8 wins. So if I want to try and maintain my top 3 spot, I kind of need Skybreaker and Strider to kind of do some favors for me and beat Fangs of Fire, but not too well that they then go past me. So kind of what I want between all of these 3 players in the group, that they all kind of beat each other evenly. That'd be kind of nice. That'd be the best case situation for me, I think. Yeah, if they could all kind of beat each other, you know, 1-1, that'd be fine. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Is there going to be a newspaper? There's a rumor token. Do the hunters have movement? We'll have to see. Newspaper reports is indeed there. Ooh. Interesting. Alright. That's going to be potentially quite hard for them to get to without renewed vigor. They were going to need... They need a good rail ticket to get to Venice, the right type of rail ticket, which they probably do have, but then need an excellent weather, and then potentially a forewarned to deal with the hide. Chartered carriage would also do the trick if they go down to Genoa. The problem is... Where is Dracula now? Is Dracula in Florence? That's very risky if suddenly there's a very, very early consecrated ground. That could be GG already. We'll have to see. Horses on Kadami. That's a good start. Yeah, it's been about 55%. So I can tell you across... Oh, I mean, Dracula could have been there. That's a bit risky. In the first phase, out of the 36 matches, Hunters won 15 and Dracula won 21. So I don't know what's that. That's about 58% in Dracula's favor, right? Let's see if I can't do quick maths. I'll get the... Yeah, 40... Just under 42% for Hunters. So yeah, 58% for Dracula. More, just under 58%. Or just above 58% rather. And then in the last 2 phases, Phase 2, Phase 3, it's been 16 Hunter wins, 20 Dracula wins, which is about 45-55. So yeah, the average is just above 55% for Dracula, which is pretty good going, honestly, considering the way the game has been changed with the Immortal Update. Even though the Hunters have been buffed in certain aspects, a lot of the changes benefit Dracula. Trail sliding, seeing encounter cards beforehand, things able to mature before you move. Forewarned got nerfed, not intentionally, just because of the way it got changed, it got nerfed. So then Fog is stronger. Just so you know, there was a Behind the Veil, I missed it, but it got rid of bats. So seemingly there was no fog. Or if there was fog, Fangs of Fire didn't want to discard it, which seems a bit strange. So there was a Rufus Smith, I don't know where it's searched, but it's in the discard pile, so it could come back later. I'm kind of worried if Dracula is in Florence right now. He has to wolf form out, but can only go as far as Munich, and could suddenly have 3 Hunters on him. They might sack off the Rumour token to get a really good 3-on-1. Oh, did anybody see? Did Seward go by horses or by rail to Marseille? Peter Wizard says, I don't have to worry about table results, I just need not to lose. So I think I'm in the Hunter's corner here. What was it? So it said, mind the gap. Yep. Aha. Mind the gap. Absolutely. That's the slogan from the Underground in London. Tube. Yeah, I mean, you're fine, Pizza Wizard, sitting there comfortably on your 10 wins. There'll have to be a monumental shift for you not to make it into the top 4. I think you're almost guaranteed top 4 at this rate. So move by rail. Okay, thank you. I mean, even if so does have horses, you know, that rail move is still very efficient, and you don't risk a bad horse roll when you suddenly get stranded and to lose or something. Just gonna be a little bit careful here. This is why I don't like Southern... I mean, I love Southern Italy because it's an extremity, which is great. But the problem is you've got a very narrow route to come up, right? If you decide to stop off in Naples, you're only in Florence now, which means you're either going to go to Genoa today, or you're having to wolf form to either Milan or Munich. That kind of sucks. If you skip Naples, then you're in Genoa now, which is much better. But then Genoa wolf form is not as bad. But still, you're going to have a lot of, you know, Mina's going to land, Seward's nearby. Yeah, this is kind of risky. It was also, Florence was consecrated ground territory as well. That could have been really bad for the Hunters. What are they saying? Pizza Wizard could be in Genoa. But that forces Milan, which isn't better without wolf form. Yeah, true. Things in Genoa. Very possibly. Ooh, a misdirect. I mean, that's also another way around this problem. If you're in Florence, you wolf form back into Naples. And you drag the Hunters even deeper into Italy than you leave. You don't have wolf form if you're trying to leave from Ionian or Mediterranean. Unless this is all a ruse. And it's just fake. Because at the end of the day, if the rumour token in Bari matures, who cares about the thing after Bari if it's Rome or Naples? Who cares? So we'll have to see how this pans out. And also the thing is, because there isn't Mina here, you won't be able to do a psychic scan today. You're going to have to move around to try and find. If I get full CG'd in Florence day 3, I mean, if you meant day 7, with no information being revealed before that, I would have been astonished. Yeah, sure. Oh. Oh. Gadami went straight to Seward. Right, that seems like there is a trade that needs to happen. Interesting. Florence will form. Okay. So at best, it's a wolf form to Munich. So that means if the Hunters did actually have to trade horses around in Marseille, Dracula has got really lucky. Because if Seward had horses, all of them could have jumped onto Munich. So yeah, it does give Dracula time and space. You're right. You're right. Very fortunate. And the thing is, the Bari is going to mature, and the wolf form is still on the trail. So you're not wolf forming out of Munich. You're wolf forming to Munich. I assume it's going to be Munich. Yeah, you're right. It could be a return to Naples. I think Naples would... I mean, the cool thing here is, like, because of the way the trail now works, Dracula's able to mature that first, and now hide in Naples, or move to Bari. Which is nice. Van Helsing's delayed. So he has time here. He has time. He could go to Bari, then hide in Bari, rumour it with the hide. Now it's Monday, and then leave. Yeah. Unless Dracula's been a little bit cute here, and has gone into Rome, because he's probably expecting the Hunters to check Munich first, which they are. He can now go to Bari tomorrow. That's nice. It was Naples. Good stuff in the chat. Thank you, Geordie and Pizza Wizard. That is a very good suggestion. That worked out very well. So it'll be interesting to see how bold, because Van Helsing was delayed, How bold was Dracula feeling? I would have probably liked to try and sneak in a roam move here. Go to Bari, throw down a rumour, just to force them to deal with it, and then leave. Even if rumour's a fog, that would be great, because you trap the hunters even longer from getting in here. Sure, you've got 4 hunters, so only 1 needs to deal with the trail. I mean, I like what the hunters did here. They checked worst case scenario, didn't go through Munich, but now suddenly it's like, oh, we now have to try and go back into here. Is Van Helsing equipped? If the answer is no, then one of the other hunters are going to have to go down. And I'm not, I highly doubt, you know, these things will mature. But it's just the fact you're going to have to waste the time to go down and do these things, especially if Van Helsing's not very well equipped. The fact he was with Godalming makes me think he is probably quite well equipped. As hunters here, what you really want to be doing is 1 hunter goes down to deal with this trail, kind of force Dracula out to sea. Dracula gets a little bit panicky, and the other 3 just keep supplying. Subscribe to the Pizza Wizard fort of playing hunters and just supply. 2 events, 2 events, 2 events, 3 events. That I like. I like that a lot. It puts a bit of pressure. If Van Helsing does not have a stake, now another hunter has to go down and deal with it. So I actually like this. I'm not saying this rumour matures at all. Does Dracula ever hide with a fog to ambush whoever comes in? Oh, what? And trap them in fog and then beat them up a lot? Hey, why not? It's risky when you got so many hunters nearby, and it would take us a good time, you know, well-timed forewarned. You could get multiple hunters jumping on you then. Sure. Why not? Depends how bold you're feeling, I suppose. See, now look, now, you know, Godalming's having to move down to Venice. Instead of supplying. I know you wouldn't get an event out of it, but still, you're... I know there's a Dracula event on top, but there might be 100 events underneath that you have to try and get to. False horses. Good stuff. Hunters are quite well equipped, though. I'd be a bit worried for Skybreaker if they do manage... If it becomes like a pure sort of like foot chase, as I'd call it. Like if you're just literally running over land and you're trying to outrun the hunters, you're never going to be able to do it. You're going to need to play very sort of tricksy. Yeah, exactly. If you're not in the game, you consider... Yeah, exactly. You consider all the wild, the crazy ideas, right? The tinfoil hat theories. But you might actually do it yourself. Put a fog in Rome and then a vampire and bats to bot. Yeah, sure. Why not? Bats got discarded, but behind the fog, so it means it's less likely. But sure, I mean, hey, I mean, I didn't see the starting hand. Maybe there were 2 bats in there. There could have been 2 bats in there. Maybe one of them got discarded when that vampire wiped the trail. I have no idea. I didn't see it. I didn't join in time, I'm afraid. A little bit delayed. Looking for drama. So, why are you looking for drama? You're not Shakespeare. Who knows? It's all just endless possibilities at this point. Not seeing the behind the veil kind of limits our options in terms of prediction. So, hiding in Bari. So Dracula's going to have to leave now. But that's fine. Issue is, maybe if there's an excellent weather on Godalming, Godalming can block Valona, which is a bit scary. You're watching this over your lunch hour, reads a wizard. It used to be Days of Our Lives. I don't know what that is. I mean, saying lunch sitcom, so I assume it's a sitcom. I have no idea what that is. Sorry, don't get the reference. But good on you for watching Fear of Dracula instead. And you watched my game with Snuff as well. I know not live, but after the fact. You've had quite a Fear of Dracula filled morning, haven't you? Dracula did indeed hide in Bari, especially since the Rome thing's been wiped off. So yeah, Dracula's have to leave now. Unless he wants to bait hunters into a... yeah, into like double fog or something. I doubt it. I'm just worried about Godami using like extra weather to block the loner, and you have no wolf form. So then what are you gonna do? You're gonna go into Venice, where you suddenly get jumped on by multiple hunters, or do you go Dionian? Oh, never mind. Scrap that fort. Oh, now Godami's in range of Valona. That's scary. Alright. Seward deals with Bari. So then Van Helsing must have a stake for Naples. Wolves ambush. Okay. One rifle. And that is all. A reckless vampire. Oof. Alright. That's a dead vampire right there. But that's a heroic leap being used. Goodness. Well, honestly, if I'm Drac, I actually probably don't mind that, because you know you can move into Valona now and you're not going to get heroic leaped by Godalming. So honestly, I probably don't mind. Just imagine if Seward did not have a weapon. He wouldn't be able to use that heroic leap. That'd have been bad. That's one less thing for Dracula to worry about. It's also very efficient for the hunters, right? If they don't have a stake. I don't know how many stakes have been discarded. One. Only one stake's been discarded. Maybe they haven't drawn them. Oh, that's another point for Dracula. That's good. Up to 8. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Ambush with the wolves to find out what Seward has before the fight. Yeah. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, the trail's clear. That's the thing. But the only thing is you've committed 2 hunters down here. Seward's very low health. So he's not going to be able to do anything for a little while. He won't be able to heal at sea either. Another Fang. Could be a knife, though. Yeah. As soon as he punched first, I had a feeling that might be a knife. So they killed that without a stake. That's very unfortunate. Good for hunters, though. Very efficient clearing of the trail. That's the kind of thing. They've used Heroic Leap, but they've dealt with everything. Very, very fast. Is that an excellent weather? Yeah, exactly. Fang backfired. I like how these memes just take hold. Because the problem is, with the wolves, it's not like Seward could have chosen to deal with the wolves second if he'd searched. Whereas Ambush, Dracula has the right to choose the order. Maybe you don't... I don't know, do you ambush with the vampire? Oh, maybe. I mean, Dracula's up to 8 points. A vampire lair would take it down to 6, which would be 1 day more in the 4th week, and you need a 7-point vampire to win the game, not a 6-point vampire. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the vampire lair is another thing you have to consider. That's true. Especially since there aren't many stakes being discarded So the chance of them holding onto a stake for Vampire Lair is more likely. And we got to think, that's also... all the Reckless is gone. And we don't know what these things were. There might be another Vampire mixed in. Probably not. But still. So that's all the Reckless is gone. And they're going to be gone for quite a long time. Oh yeah, me too, Pizza Wizard. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, spot on. Oh, moving another sea space. Oh. Yeah, I get it, I get it. If you go to the loner, you could get 3 hunters on you. Trex and Weathers, 1 horse. This is the type of game I kind of fear for a Dracula player, because, yeah, you've got loads of points, but the thing is, it's removed quite a lot of the trail. And the hunters are still well supplied, so they're able to deal with this follow-up stuff. And because you're boxed into an extremity, you had to leave eventually. So you've bought them time to kind of reposition and supply and all that sort of stuff. The problem is, if Dracula wants to go to Trillion, that's another point of damage. Do you go all the way to the med? Oh. Good question. True, you get the wolf form back if you go to the Mediterranean. Technically, you get it from Tyrrhenian. Right, you move to Tyrrhenian, Naples moves over to the last space, and then it slides before you have to move, but you wouldn't want a wolf form from Tyrrhenian in this circumstance. It's a lot of damage, though. 10, 9, 8. I mean, Dracula's basically lost half of his health, and the Hunters have done nothing to him. He's over halfway to victory, sure, but he's given up half his health. And the Hunters have time on their side. That's the kind of the thing with this game. It's not just, oh, Dracula's halfway to victory. It's Dracula's half health, and there's loads of time. Could even wolf form from the third sea and could bluff Black Sea. Oh. Maybe Black Sea isn't so bad. But then once if they have Money Trail and Consecrated Ground. Or even just Money Trail. Money Trail might be okay because the other hands will take a little bit of time to get over there, but not that long actually. You're never going to have time to get into the castle and back out again. You could feed, but you're not putting down encounters. Don't know. This is the only problem. Like, as good as nice as the wolf form to Naples was, Dracula didn't gain a huge advantage out of it because the Hunters had enough movement to check the 2 other possibilities really quickly. And because they dealt with this trail so fast, now, you know, Dracula's stuck with wolf form on the trail, taking damage. Hunters can reposition and supply if they want to. Was the Valona move meta? Maybe? Again, I think it's all easy in hindsight. I guess it depends on what the Hunters have. The problem is, because Mina was positioned on Venice, sure, you're blocking Venice, which is a good move. But what happens if Seward and Mina have excellent weather and Gadami gets onto you? Right? You could just die right then and there. Seward's low health, so you might be able to do something about that. But then, what if there's a fog and you forewarn it? Right, exactly. You're kind of postponing the risk. But then, you're just Dracula's just taking so much damage that then the hunters don't need to work as hard when they do jump on you. It'd be interesting to see, in, you know, with hindsight, looking at Fangs' perspective, did he have excellent weathers? Did he have renewed vigors to heal Seward and then move in? Do you have forewarned? Because if not, you could trap Gadami and Fog. The other two hunters can't get anywhere near. That's handy. And then Dracula could move a couple of spaces on land, and then wolf form. Could try and wolf form through this corridor. Could try and drag them even further east. You might be able to get into the castle, and then get to Galat, wolf form to Black Sea Coast. Maybe try and get to Bucharest and wolf form to Ionian Coast. It depends on how much movement these other hunters have. I mean, they do have quite a lot of movement. They've got 3 horses and a sense of emergency between them all. I think this is the problem. When you got suddenly hunters doing this, you're like, uh-oh. If they had excellent weather, they could do a renewed vigor, excellent weather play onto Cagliari. Cagliari is really obvious, so then do you really want to go there? You land, you can't hide yet. You have to feed first before hiding, so you're more vulnerable to multiple hunters jumping on you, because they know the hide's not there. Most people would say, maybe it's like what Kajak has said, you need to take those risks, and if so, you should take them sooner when hunters are less likely to have requisite events. Yeah, I think so. The more and more I play this game, the more I'm inclined to believe that. Trying to win as Dracula is very, very difficult, because you need to try to expend like a lot of hunter actions on things that they don't really want to be doing. The more that they're searching your trail, the more they're having to heal, the more they're having to kind of do these trades, trying to work out who needs what, instead of just supplying and then doing really efficient movements. That's kind of good for Dracula. So, I mean, what you can maybe do in a situation like this, imagine you've put a fog down in Valona. Hunters have all the prerequisite events but not forewarned. You could potentially bait like a renewed vigor move or an extra weather or two, trap them, and you've made them expend a lot of strength for nothing. I think that's kind of the thing is Drag. You have to chip away at the hunter events. But the problem is, this is the hard part when you don't know what hunters have. Like, Gadami's sitting here with 3 events. So these could be the scariest events imaginable. They could be a forewarned, Lucy's Revenge, planned ambush combo, and he's got Heavenly Hose Knife or something along those lines. But then alternatively, they could just be Good Luck, Blood Transfusion, and Long Night. But because we can't see those events, they can be as scary as you want them to be. And that can then really make the Dracula player sort of overestimate hunter strength. So we're not even considering the strength of the hunter player as a player in terms of their experience and their capability to play the game. That can be whatever level you want, right? But you're just looking at the events and going, oh my god, they could have everything. That's awful for me. And it doesn't matter who I'm playing against, I'll die then. Right? So you're having to try and assess that risk factor. And it could be a really early death. I mean, I had a game earlier in the league where I played Mr. Green, and I played, in hindsight, a really stupid risk by going to Ireland. But I calculated, well, my beginning of the game did not go as well for me as I wanted it to. So I'm going to have to try and bait him into, like, using lots of resources to come over to Britannica. It just so happened that he'd supplied every strong event in the game, so there was no chance of me... And obviously then, because he's also a very skilled hunter player, he's able to use them in the right configuration to kill me. But then at the same time, then the game I played against you, Pizza Wizard, I had to play some really risky stuff in that game. But I was like, I'm not going to win if I keep trying to run around the board trying to play safe. Because eventually, hunters will just out-supply and out-move me. You have to eventually take some sort of risk, and sometimes they will work, and other times they don't. And I think, again, it's easy in hindsight to be saying, oh, well, that risk was stupid if you die very quickly, but What do? Run around the board for 3 or 4 more C moves and hope that the hunters don't supply lots of great stuff in that time and reposition well? I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. There's no correct answer, I don't think. That's the problem. It depends on the game. Yeah. So we'll have to see. See how it pans out. We've got 3 C moves. What do we think? And there's a lot of people... Oh, hello, couldn't be me. There's a lot of people watching. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Geordie and Pete's Wizard, I know you're the most communicative at the moment. Where do you think he is? Do you think Dracula's actually in Cagliari, or do you think it's Risk Black Sea Coast? Given hunter positions, Cagliari would be pretty awful. If they don't have excellent weather, then it's fine. Can't... I'm spilling my water over me. Good grief, I'm like a 5-year-old today. Can't even rumour whatever this is either. Not that rumouring is necessary. Well, it makes you win the game, but then even if it's like a 3-point vampire, it's still pretty bad. Okay, never mind. He's in Cagliari. Never mind. Pizza Wizard immediately. Do you feed on Black Sea Coast here? Never mind. He's in Cagliari. Well, unless he's in Rome. Is there any way he could be in Rome? No. No. No, 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 no. Don't you tell me he's gone to Rome. No. I didn't see you. They're all in Florence last turn, right? Oh. He didn't even feed. Damn. Oh, hi, Tree. I'm betting on Black Sea. I think that was a pretty good bet based upon hunter positions, when it turned out it wasn't that. But I can definitely see... why you would guess that. I was maybe expecting Dracula to take a little bit of a risk there. Oh, hey, Warecraft. Yeah, it could have been Rome. It's not anymore, because he's gone to sea. But I was kind of, yeah, and this is the problem now. All the hunters are moving ahead of you, and this is not what you want. And it's only one encounter. It's going to take 4, 5 more moves to slide off the trail and mature. Ah, don't worry, Tree. Don't you worry. I would have totally gone with that idea. I think Black Sea was probably a good guess here. Obviously, there's a risk of money trail and CG and all that stuff, but... I think, yeah, you could have gone to Black Sea Coast, feed, like Peter Wizard said, and then kind of pretend, oh, look at me, I'm on Cagliari. But then they psychic scanned. That's the problem, right? So that's the issue. Oh, they did have excellent weather in the end. Okay. I haven't been looking on trades. If there were no trades, then I think that means that Mina had it in Venice. So there was a potential 2-on-1 fight in Valona. And also she does now have horses. But she didn't have horses then, which means she probably had 3 combat cards. Or potentially a stake. But she was supplying on her own in Britannica. She could have picked up anything. This is a situation, it doesn't matter how much influence you have. This is not a situation you want to be in where the hunters are able to move ahead of you. So now what? You wolf from the Mediterranean. Okay. Sure. Oh, Desperate Soil... though, I quite like that. Probably makes sense why now he left, because you don't want to be sitting on top of Desecrated Soil. Because obviously adds you no combat sort of potential, apart from the fact you can get a Heavenly Host reveal. But sometimes when I'm playing as hunters, I don't reveal Heavenly Host. Because if I'm going to go into combat with Dracula, then you can just search it later. Yeah, I know you're improving his encounter economy, but maybe you don't care about that. You mean I can't deal with it? It'll probably mature. Yeah, I agree with you. Nah, no cards revealed. Do hunters waste time sending somebody else over there? Possibly. I guess it depends on how much they think this 3 HP is going to be valuable. So let's think. He's in Mediterranean now. Does Dracula just keep moving by sea until this thing matures? Is that even something that is a realistic possibility? That's 4-day actions. Right, unless you got another excellent weather, but then you're using excellent weather. I'm surprised he actually used excellent weather to get to Cagliari, to be honest. I was actually quite surprised about that. I might have used it. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if you use excellent weather to get on or to leave. So this thing, he's goes to South Atlantic now. North Atlantic. North Sea English. You have to go around the entirety of Britannica and then it matures when you land. Huh. I'm really surprised he sent Mina. The one with the horse over there. You want a horse to be on mainland. Unless Van Helsing is just not equipped at all. I'm really surprised he sent Mina over. Perhaps Mina has a stake. Yeah. But then... would you not then... I don't know, I mean, maybe you disagree with me, but would you not then just send Van Helsing over there with stake and Heavenly Host? If you got a Heavenly Host, of course. I mean, they haven't supplied through the whole event deck. Item deck, rather. So, I mean, there could be all the Heavenly Hosts still in here. Maybe they didn't supply Heavenly Host. I just still find it weird that you send the character with the horse over. I know you kind of maybe want Van Helsing not to be at sea because he might need to trade. But... maybe didn't want to take the night. Yeah, maybe. Didn't want to spend the night action trading? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, well... I guess it depends who had the excellent weather to begin with and who had the stake and stuff. But it could just be 2 night actions to trade. I don't know. I don't know. That's the problem with the limited information I have. We're just trying to speculate, which makes things a little bit more difficult. So it looks like Dracula's going to keep going to Britannica, which is fine if the hunters do not have consecrated ground. If they do have consecrated ground, this could get nasty really fast. They've used an excellent weather already, so Dracula will take that. What does Mina do? Does Mina go to Mediterranean and then land in Mediterranean port and then horse? Oh, sorry, I sneezed. I was not going to subject you to that. Does she just go around by sea now? Does she leave? Go to Mediterranean, then go to Marseille, and then horse around? Does she just... Oh! Okay. There are 2 excellent weathers. Okay. Interesting. How do we feel about that? I don't know how I feel about using 2 excellent weathers to get to 1 encounter and then get off it. I mean, the second excellent weather to reposition Mina, I kind of like. But I would surely prefer to get, say, Sword in Bordeaux, Godalming in Le Havre, and use excellent weathers to get to Britannica. I'd much prefer that. The good thing with this is that Mina is in the same sea zone as Dracula. There we go. Get my words out. I still think it's better if Van Helsing had gone without the horse. Because he doesn't need horses if he's going over to Britannica. Whereas the others can stay on the mainland in case he tries to do something, you know, cheeky and wolf form to like Berlin or something. Do they have money trail? The thing is, if Dracula wants to keep... Well, Dracula could land sooner if he wanted to. He's going to have to move to North Atlantic now. But the issue is, I bet Sud will move to North Atlantic, and Mina will. Do you then wolf form to Santander? Is that something you do? Problem is, Northernline's not great. The minute you wolf form, it's kind of telegraphing that you're in Santander. Because the only other option would be Dublin or Galway. I mean, yeah, sure, it could be Northern France. Okay, good positioning here. To jump across to Britannica. I'm just worried that Dragon's going to get there. It's going to be too low health to do anything. I mean, sure, it can definitely survive if you've got like a forewarned, or there's been no forewarned in fog. If they follow you to North Atlantic, what do they do when you move one more space? There are 3 possibilities. True. So what you're saying, Pizza Wizard, is you basically have to move one more seat space. The problem is, because you've now got Godalming on the English Channel coast already, you could get 1 hunter in the North Sea and 1 in the Irish Sea. The thing is, the hunters are moving a lot. They're not resupplying. Van Helsing is. Actually, Seward did, to be fair. Stake and discard. All the holy bullets. Sorry, Pizza Wizard. I liked it when you had your chat with Gyro. And you were like, when you're talking about garlic reef, and you're just like, Gyro, I don't know why you obsess about this item. I'm surprised he didn't return the favour about holy bullets. I found that rather funny. This 3 health is potentially going to be really great if it matures. What I mean by that is, do they catch him before it matures? Or if they get him so low on health, the 3 extra health doesn't really make a difference to the game. That's your retort, Pizza Wizard. Holy bullets are actually useful. Well, Fangs will fire things otherwise. You have to go and have a word with him after this game. I guess a lot depends here is how much good stuff do the hunters have? Thank goodness Rufus Smith is in here. Oh! He wolfed from North Atlantic. Oh my. That's very risky when Seward's just sitting in Bordeaux. Ooh. Thing is, though, if he hides in Dublin, if it's Dublin, Dracula hides. Mina walks into Dublin. She could get walloped very, very hard. Heroic Leap won't make a huge... Oh wait, what's Dracula's health? Never mind, Heroic Leap would be perfect. Whoa, he had Surprise Return all that time and didn't use it to activate Rufus Smith. Interesting. Oh, found him. We found him. Good Surprise Return. I mean, I guess you don't really need Rufus Smith if Dracula decides just to, you know, to move all the sea spaces anyway. Oh yeah, you're right. Heroic Leap is expended. Thank you. Why aren't you in this chat, Pizza Wizard? I need you in here to keep me right. You're right. Heroic Leap was expended. Well, oh, you can't hide now. Well, you can hide, but you gain no benefit from hiding. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. If she's very well equipped and she has like a planned ambush. but literally, you're only using Renewed Vigor just to get Mina on her. I guess he wants to try and get Mina on before Dracula feeds. Or make Dracula think twice about feeding. What happens if this is fog and he traps her in fog and then beats her up anyway? Oh, what? Mina's not even moving in. I mean, what's Long Night gonna do? You're gonna move into Dracula during the night phase. So then you'll have a... Well, I guess you have a day fight with him first, but Dracula's gonna feed now, surely. And he's got a Desperate Sword that's gonna mature. What? Oh, Van Helsing's gonna go and do a Cagliari. Okay, this Desperate Sword is not maturing then. Okay. Dracula's gonna get... You know, it's getting 6 cards, essentially, from that Desperate Soil. Cagliari is being dealt with. Oh, yeah, this is scary. Incredibly scary for Dracula. Because if he feeds now, he'll be on more health. Has to feed, because his Desperate Soul's... North Atlantic is here. So... That's the important one. Feed. Irisy. Nah. Feed. Hide. Dark. Oh god, that's awful. Yeah. Dracula's forced to put the mainland of Britannica here. And the problem is, Sue's going to move to Irisy today. So Dracula moves to Irisy when Seward is there. So that means Seward is going to land before Dracula does. Right, okay. Yeah, okay, so actually that Renewed Vigor was actually not too bad, because what it allowed Seward to do was to obtain another item before sailing. Mina's blocking Galway, so if Dracula moves there, there's no encounter. Seward now can choose to go into Dublin or go onto mainland Britannica, depending on what Dracula does today. Right. Yeah. Peter Wizard, he could stay in place playing a Fog Gambit. If he thinks Seward doesn't have Forewarned, but he'd have to move in first. Right. But what happens if Seward and Mina have Forewarned? That's a dead Dracula, I think. Right. Because Van Helsing doesn't have an event. So it's not as if Van Helsing has a Forewarned and he can then trade it to either Seward or Mina, right? So say if Seward had Forewarned, goes in, Dracula does an ambush, Van Helsing can then trade the other Forewarned to Mina. Yeah, exactly, right? Double Forewarned is terrible, but then also moving into Britannica is terrible. I guess the only thing you do is try and get Mina into the combat and maybe try to kill her. If you can kill her with Mesmerized Fangs combo, that would win you the game. This is why... Yeah, I think this is the problem. You've gone so many spaces by sea. Didn't get the Desperate Soul mature. And now you've found yourself kind of trapped in this situation. So yeah, actually in hindsight, the Renew Vigor was actually pretty good, because it allowed Mina... Well, yeah, they're all just doing additional supplies. But hey, those supplies could have easily obtained, you know, planned ambushes and that sort of thing. And I guess if you are shepherding Dracula in the direction that you want, then I guess you don't need Renewed Vigor as badly. Since they're able to position onto these coastlines and with the excellent weather really quickly. And in some ways, it was actually good that Seward delayed his movement, because it meant he was in Irish Sea today, not forced to move in yesterday, if that makes sense. Right, okay. Is that a vampire then? Not fog. Is Dracula doing that to make the hunters think it's a vampire, not full-born, so they charge in and they get fogged? The problem is... let's think. Dracula going to Irish Sea today is not good. He would have to move into Galway, then Darkcore, but the problem is then you got two hunters on the same island as you, and you're taking 2 extra damage. Oh! Yeah, Godalming repositioning is also not good for Dracula at all. What's the rest? I don't know what's happening, but Scott was wrong about everything. Am I? What am I wrong about this time? I know I'm wrong about a lot of things, but I like to think I'm right about some things. What was it I'm wrong about now? Oh, wow. Don't... where did this forewarn come? Oh, no. I don't think Dracula should have ambushed with the Desecrated Soil. Because what it does is it frees up Van Helsing's night action. Forewarned? Yep. Now, we don't know. We don't know if that got traded now or before. That we don't know. But if it was traded right now, you can't let Van Helsing trade last night. Because he picked up an event. Unless he quickly supplied that event. Oh, yeah, they did a day trade, didn't they? Yeah, this is not ideal. Would you plot now, Wizakajik? Since you like plottings into planned ambushes. I think you die if you plot now. These two hunters are going to be very well equipped. She also has an escape route if things go wrong later. Yeah. Yeah. Very likely there's a double forewarned. If Sue didn't have forewarned, then that's a misplay on Dracula's part. You had to take the risk, right? I don't think there will be a later. No, I kind of agree with you a little bit. Strength into planned ambush. If she doesn't have Heavenly Host, which we know she doesn't have, actually. Unless she bluffed it, but I highly doubt it. Oh, that was lucky that he was able to change back to dodge. Yeah, good. I mean... yeah, but then he gets hit by 3 damage from the knife anyway. I think Mina must have a weapon. Yeah, I mean, Dracula did as good as he could have done there. You realize that she doesn't have Heavenly Host because of the Cagliari thing. So all you can do is just hope that Seward doesn't hit you, but this is going to be really hard to survive. And even if you do survive, well, what? You're going to have to go Irish Sea and then Swansea? Or Consecrated Ground comes out, you can't go back to Dublin. Oh. Cloring Mina. I think that's a GG. Oh. I don't know if Claws saves you here, unless there's literally nothing else to play. If there's nothing else to play, then fair enough. If Swords played Heavenly Host, that's GG. Even then, this is just going to be... The Hunters don't have to kill Dracula this turn, that's the thing. Oh, Holy Bullets? Nope, because they're on the discard pile. Yeah, that's a GG. Oh! Should Dracula have gone to Valona? That's going to be the takeaway question from this game. Cyber says fogged the wrong person. Be interesting to see if Fangs says if Seward has forewarned. No, they both had it. Of course he did. Yep, he had both forewarns. Wow. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's what the event deck... Yeah, that's what the event deck gives you, and you have to play around that. If you have both forewarns, then you have to, Sorry, Pizza Wizard. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say this a lot of the time. As a hunter player, you have to assess very quickly in the first week what cards the deck gives you, and then you have to basically play around that for the rest of the game. And sure, you can supply other stuff, but the Hunters were having to move quite a bit. But I guess they were moving quite a bit because... What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. They were moving because they had all the things they needed. They had the renewed vigor. They had the excellent weather, but didn't need excellent weather in the end. Yeah. Seeker's giving too many supplies. Yeah, but honestly, I don't think he supplied enough anyway. I think, you know, Hunter's could have supplied a lot more. Oh, yeah. Sister Agava's in play. When did Aggie come in? I didn't see Aggie. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need my dinner. GG. Well played, Hunters. Good start by Skybreaker. Got the 7 points. Got the 8 points, actually. But yeah, just no real follow-up, really. I think that's the problem. Is I've seen that quite a lot in... It's not a Skybreaker thing. I'm just saying in general. Like, you do see it quite a bit where Dracula does end up getting quite quick 7 points. But then you have to kind of ask, well, now what? Where's the follow-up going to come from? Yeah, you had to think about the follow-up. I mean, like, look, we were hypothesizing about Valona. Skybreaker could have easily gone into Valona and got hit potentially 2-on-1. So, would that have been worth it? Maybe. If you could then somehow get out of that combat, get to the castle, maybe you might be able to heal up most of that damage. And they've expended quite a lot of strength for basically nothing in the long term. Yeah, they did have an excellent weather. I mean, I guess the question is, did Mina have it? Probably. I guess then, would they have had the forewarned in time? Did Godalming have forewarned? I wasn't keeping track of trades and stuff. If you just fog Godalming, well then Mina can't use excellent weather then. it's a really tricky one, and I don't think there's a. I mean, the strategy that got used in the end didn't work in this case, but then I'm not saying that going to Valona would have worked either. Again, it's very easy to sit here in hindsight. It's tricky. The wolf form to Naples may have been the real mistake. It made him go to sea without wolf form nearly guaranteed. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're right. Even though the hunters did end up checking the two, like, inland wolf form locations really quickly. And he was like, oh, I tricked you. I went back to Naples. But yeah, I guess then the question is, then what? Right? I think that's kind of the problem. You need to think it's not just tricking the hunters for one turn. You need to be able to then follow up with that. Right? And as I said, we end up in a situation where Dracula moves only one sea space, but potentially gets jumped on 2-on-1. Does Dracula move then more sea spaces to try and get wolf form back? But then the hunters have more time to reposition and supply? I'm shrugging. I know you can't see me, but I'm shrugging. I think that might be the idea, right? We saw it in a game... was it yesterday? Yesterday? I want to say yesterday. Where Burke Marley did a really cool thing, where he was managed to wolf form basically away from all of the hunters. But there it was fine. Because there was a follow-up idea. It's like, okay, I've wolf formed to Marseille now. Oh, hunters haven't got me. Okay, so I don't have to go to sea. I'll go to Genoa now. Oh, I can go to Venice now. I'm safe, I'm on port. Oh, they still haven't got me. I'll go to Munich now. Oh, I can go east. Oh, now I can go north. You know what I mean? There was like a follow-up. Even though you had to use the wolf form, you're still in quite a safe spot. Whereas in a case like this, you're having to go to sea. The sea move that would be the most efficient, i.e. going to Valona, got closed off really fast. So I have to give credit to Fangs there for actually getting Godalming into position to jump on Valona. Because I think that spooked Skybreaker from not going there. If Godalming had been in Munich, even in Munich, one space back, I think you'd go to Valona there 99% of the time. Because then you can do some kind of really cool stuff. If Godalming doesn't get to you and moves into Sarajevo, okay, so you could then go to Athens. If you wanted to then go Ionian, Tyrrhenian, you could go into Salonika, and then up to Sofia, and then inland. You could just go to Sofia directly. Go to Belgrade, Bucharest, and then by that time I think wolf form will be more or less back up. So then you could wolf form to the Ionian coast, if you wanted to. Or, you go to Black Sea, you lay down a long trail that one hunter cannot deal with. You go to Black Sea, work your way around, and then wolf form. And then you're sure it's still not as good, but you can wolf form past 2 hunters, not 3 or 4. So I think that's the thing. But again, all it takes is, I mean, who knows, right? Maybe the horse economy was perfect, but maybe Dracula goes to Valona and then Godalming rolls slow horse. He doesn't even get there. Who knows? We can all speculate, but that's all really. It was not that Skybreaker played badly. Played really well, went to extremity, got the 7 points, 8 points, got Heroic Leap to be used, not on him, but on a vampire. That's the only problem, when you're wolf forming into an extremity, then you're having to think, oh crap, I'm now having to leave this extremity without my wolf form. So what's the follow-up play? If the east was completely free, yeah, no brainer. Go to Valona. Run around the east. Or drag them all the way over, then just leave again. And they have a week's worth of trail to deal with, and you're just sailing west or something. With wolf form available. But yeah, the proactive movement from Fangs to sort of kind of block that possibility of going to Valona, or make that Valona move very, very risky, then created, more doubt for Skybreaker. And then eventually, the hunters just kind of corralled them into the position that they want them to be in. It's kind of what happened again with me and Mr. Green. Not quite the same, but similar, where you're stuck there in Dublin going, I'm gonna die to a CG, or I'm gonna die because I'm gonna move into a hunter, or I die in combat, or whatever. So, as I said, that's best case scenario for hunters. If you are moving ahead of Dracula. And that's when, yeah, that's when things go wrong. But good effort. So yeah, as I was saying at the beginning of the live stream, both of these players had a better win rate on Dracula coming into this game, but Fangs had beaten Skybreaker 2-0 in the first phase, and Fangs has obtained first blood now in the fourth phase. So yeah, it puts a little bit more daylight between him and Skybreaker, which is always good for Fangs. Puts a lot more pressure on me, which is not ideal, since I'm the position above Fangs. But there's a good victory for the Hunters, another Hunter win, which I'm not going to complain about at all. So yeah, I'm going to go off and have my dinner and say hi to the wife, and but there is another game in an hour and a half, more or less. So I will be about, I think. I will probably catch you in an hour and a half. Thank you everybody for watching. You're most welcome, Warcraft. Always a pleasure. Yeah, thank you, Pizza Wizard. Thank you, Geordie. Tree as well was in the chat. Where's a Kajik, of course. So thank you very much, and thank you to everybody who checked this out later. So I'm a little bit tired today. But it's a good game of Fury of Dracula. Definitely. Anywho, take care, everybody. You're all amazing. Thank you for tuning in, and potentially see you in an hour and a half. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.